So guys, I'm making progress on the chicken house. It doesn't look like progress, does it? But no, I just pulled these boards up, they were loose, and just to see what were underneath, because I was thinking maybe just deep bedding it, pulling this floor out and deep bedding it. But if I pull this floor out, I've got to pull this wall out with this door, and then I will need another wall and door, so I'm not going to pull this floor out. I'm going to put them back and nail them down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this junk off at wall, including old doors, and I'll either reuse them or remake them. That's not a huge problem, but I'm going to put some flat boards on this floor. I'll show you, spare plats, compressed boards, and then on top of that put linoleum. And what I'll do is I'll put some zoccals upside, like a skirting around it, and pin that up, because I'll have to put a skirting up there as well, and that will hold that back. And I'll only put the flooring up to there and have an upturn here, so that when I come to clean it out, I'll have to clean it out with plastic shovel and buckets. Not a big deal. Depending on how many birds I get, depends on how often I'll have to clean it out. I'll obviously use wood chips or sawdust flakes, whatever, on the floor. I don't know how much I'll have to clean it out, and then I'll have to do some nesting boxes around here. Might have got some white emulsion, get all the spiders out, and I might get a paint of white as well before I put flooring. But I've got to get all this stuff off at wall first. I don't know if that's a doorway into my workshop. That's the workshop. I'll show you what I've got for the floor. So I just bought this, it's cheap enough, and as long as it's covered in the lino, which was also cheap enough, end of a roll, it cost me 25 bucks, 3 meters by 2 meters, so there's plenty there. I've got 4 of these boards, and there's enough, or there should be enough then, for me to put some strips around the wall to pin this up to, so that it makes a nice waterproof floor, because I understand chicken poop is not good for wood. So guys, the plan, there's the plan. I've measured that opening, and what I'm using for the outside frame will be this, and then the door will be made out of this 2x1. The joinery on top, I'm going to cut, come down here, I'll cut the top piece across. I was going to put some dowels in it, but for the frame I'm going to use these screws, put 2 through it top. I'll glue it as well and make sure I make some nice cut ends, nice clean. That's not going to go anywhere because it's going to be screwed to the steel posts left and right. Yeah. So that's not going to go anywhere anyway. The door, like I say, I'll make out that 2x1, and joinery I'm going to use on that, I'm going to put them floating tenons in it. So basically I'll have a glued floating tenon in the door joinery. The frame then I'll have to put a stop. If you imagine that a bit in, oops, that would be the inside. Yeah, that's what it looked like from inside, and then I've got to put some sort of wooden stop just to stop it swinging any further, like that. That will be on frame. Don't know whether I've got that, but I've got enough wood for doors and frame, and I'll just do it in the square mesh, and that'll also add extra support to everything. Well, I got straight into it. I took the ends off, made a nice clean end, and cut all the parts for the frame itself, and here they are in all their glory. So as you probably saw, I've just took all corners off and any tear out, just for my delicate little hands, so I don't get splinters. Now I've got to screw it together. Like I said, this will be mounted like that. Here I'm just using a bit of scrap just to mark the ends up. I've marked up a piece of wood, yeah. Now all I'll do is I'll clamp that under there. My fence is free. I will clamp my fence. We're a little bit close, aren't we? I will clamp my fence to the end of that, so that's always going to be the same. And now I'll put a mark up here, like that, arrow to it. That's that measurement. That measurement. Just makes it quicker. Don't have to mark every piece.
I cut all the parts for the doors. There's 3 intersections and then there's a left and right, which I marked as a pair so that everything was absolutely the same when it went together.
It's better. 2 pairs of glasses so I can see. Bought some new glasses. So I have my eyes tested last week, but no, sorry, last week, 2 weeks ago. That was fun. Got to have bifocals, and I've only got 50% vision in in my right eye. So that's why I wear 2 pairs of glasses apparently when I need to. Which I didn't realise. I thought I was getting a cataract, but I've just lost vision in one eye. I had measles when I was a kid, and that's what caused it. It caused me eye problems when I was a kid. But obviously now, my eyeballs are getting worse and old, let's say. And that's what happens. Doesn't look right to me. Measure twice. 2, 4. It's good. Yeah, so new glasses, bifocals, and because my vision's quite strange, cost me $900 for a pair of glasses. I hope they do the job. I'll be well upset if they don't at that price. Right then. Again, these 3, I'm going to mark centres on, and all I'll do with that is I'll line one up on there, like that, there, like that, line that up on there, that's my centre. I will give these a quick sand on corners like I did them other pieces, because then again protects my wonderfully soft hands. So you've seen this before, like my centre line up, I've got 3 on each of these and then all ends to do. It's so much quicker than cutting them out by hand and much nicer than any other joint I could have used. Lap joints are good, but these are quicker than lap joints. But all I've got to do is make sure I plunge right down and it's plugged in. Take 2. Rinse and repeat 6 times. This is just a slightly different setup, whereas before I had this jig clamped in vice. Now the jig is clamped to the workpiece. I've got 6 ends to do, so it's a case of do it, unclip it, do 3, flipping it over this way, keeping the face to the same side just for any possible discrepancy in the cut there.
This floating tenon jig is fantastic. There's lots of versions on YouTube, but have a look at them. If you've got a router and like you need to do some joinery, it's so fast, so easy, and it's a very strong joint. I would search it. I'll put a link up in the corner and at the end of this video if you want to make one.
And that, as they say, is that. So, hope you can see, I've got all the pieces done. I'm going to have a dry fit. I did just quick sand over them tenons. I haven't sanded these off yet. I just want to make sure everything goes together as planned.
Now always do a dry fit before you get your glue out.
And that works. Glue it up and put ratchet straps around it, and then that'll be that until it dries for a few hours. It's almost beer o'clock. So I didn't ratchet strap it, it's all glued. Just wipe some of the squeeze out off. I just put 2 Kyles in it. Kyle. Wedges, yeah. Another German word, Kyle. Just put 2 wedges in it, wedged it all up to the other frame. It's all square with other frame, it all fits. That gap's a little bit big. I thought I'd left it at 10, it's 12mm, but it don't matter because it's going to have a piece of wood all the way around it. Won't let drafts in because that's going to be wire, so we're not worried about that. But yeah, it's all square, just got to leave it now. Let it dry, let it set up. I'll just show you what I use for this. It's UV proof, it's waterproof, it breathes, but it's acrylic, so it's also animal friendly. Bird, people, you can drink that, won't do you a load of good, but it won't kill you. And I use this all in garden all the time. It's really good, and it's a good price as well. Horrible, horrible weather. So guys, I've got to put the wire on the door. It's had 2 coats of paint. These are a really handy tool and not expensive. If you've got a compressor, top tool to have, and all other advantages of having a compressor, you know. But that's really an handy tool. I'll get it done. It's my favourite bit, wrestling with this stuff. What I've got to do, lay it out flat, I'll put a couple of clips on it. But when you're doing this stuff, always do it so it rolls down rather than up. That way down. And what I'll do, I'll put a clamp on the end.
Yes, I did cut myself.
Need a bigger workshop.
I pinned the top on one side and then cut it off, stretched it and pinned the other side.
And that'll go a little bit like that. Well, that's that sort of done. I've got to put a latch on it, but this is my automatic closer. Basically a rock. It means I don't have to put a latch on the inside, but I'll put a latch on the outside, and that's just on that little roller there. I don't think you can see that. I can't see. And that pulls it closed. But that should do it. Shouldn't have any problem then. Might have to just bring it up a little bit higher so it don't sit on that step. I can't put it out to the side. I tried, just because it won't run properly on wheel. I could have probably put a spring on it, but I ain't got a spring, so I've gone for a roller and a rock. That'll do. I'm gonna harvest my apples now. So guys, that's the apple harvest. There's well over 100 apples. Well, there's about 100 there. And there's about another dozen what I've left on tree, which haven't caught any sun yet. These are ripe, but this end is not as ripe due to the shade it gets on this side. But that is such a tiny tree, look. It's about 8 feet from that post to that post, and it's 6 foot high. And I lost a lot like this. These I'm taking off and giving to rabbits and quail, and we've had half a dozen apples off what we've eaten as well already, so well over 100 apples on such a little space. And again, it's only 2.5, 3 foot wide. And before I do go, I thought I'd show you these. These are the purple cauliflowers, what I covered up for the day. Bit of white fly in them, protecting them. They're a good size, I'll grow them again. And if you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I know it was a bit of a variety show, but that's how my week's been. And thanks for all guys who have said about me back. It's lots better now. So don't forget, it's nice to be nice.